In this tutorial, we will look at how to set up deleting and uploading of objects into the S3 bucket automatically based on when files have been updated on a local hard drive. We've been using a test folder named C:\testing server data. Once we begin working on the iOS Unity part of this project, we will use the actual folder that will contain all the real addressable files that will be updated by this other Unity project. More on this later. But for now, we will stick with this testing folder to demonstrate how automatic file management will be handled. This Boolean #changed is key to this process. We start by setting it to false, and once the folder that will contain the new addressable files has been updated, the Boolean #changed will be set to true. This is where the server data file monitor script comes in. This script is using the system.io.filesystemWatcher class that does the hard work of checking what has changed in a folder on your file system. In our case, we are checking if a folder has been created. Once this occurs, the Boolean #changed is set to true. Suppose it would have made more sense to name the Boolean file created, but this still works fine. So in order to use the server data file monitor script, we're going to simply add it to the game manager game object by dragging server data file monitor from the project tab over to the inspector. We are now ready to go in terms of being able to monitor the folder that we identified before. Now, once the Boolean is set to true, we need to return to the AWS manager to see how the Boolean change is handled there. Here you can see activate wait for #to_change method is called in the start method. Activate wait for #to_change initializes a new cancellation token variable in the game manager that will be used in the wait for #to_change async method that is called on the next line. It is in this method, wait for #to_change, that the auto delete and upload of all objects occurs. I will not go into great detail here about how this code works, but we can see here in this else if clause that if the game manager .#changed is set to true, we then go forward and run the AWS commands. In addition, we make some changes to the UI to allow the user to know what is happening. These are the methods we covered in the previous tutorial. We already demonstrated how these work manually. And you can see here by using an async method, we can allow for these API calls to be completed while staying in a wait state for them to be finalized. This completes the functionality in the Windows version of this part of the project. We will now run the app in play mode to make sure that the app is working as it should and it automatically is updating objects on the S3 bucket. Before we actually paste in new objects into our test server data folder, let's take a look at S3 first. So here is my bucket on S3 with objects that have timestamps of July 2nd, object 1, 2, and 3. Once we update the test server data folder, these objects will be automatically deleted and the new objects will be uploaded from the test server data folder. So let's just keep an eye on these. These will disappear and be replaced by new objects. Let's go back to Unity. We are in play mode, and I'm going to paste in the new objects into this folder. As I do so, keep an eye on the monitor here, and you'll see some changes occur. You'll also get a display message here in the game view. So here we go. App content has been rebuilt and cloud content has been updated. Looks like success. You can also see a readout on the console showing objects being deleted and objects being uploaded. So now let's actually go to the S3 bucket and make sure that's true. We'll refresh. And we have success. New object 1, 2, and 3. We are now ready to go to the other part of this project that contains the iOS build as well as our editor script that will do the heavy lifting of recreating the addressables. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when the next part of this tutorial becomes available.